Okay. Now, what we're doing today is we are doing conversions. All right, I've got 4 cups, and I need to know how many fluid ounces that is. Now, how many of you guys have done this before? Some type of conversion. Okay. How many of you guys liked doing conversions before? Really? A couple of you did? Okay, here's the thing. I love doing conversions. You know why? They are so easy. They are so easy. Now listen, I'm going to be very specific today with my directions. And I'm going to be very clear with my expectations. Alright? I will tell you right now, if you don't do your homework exactly like I ask you to and show the exact work that I ask you to, I will count it wrong. Okay? I will not give you credit unless you do it exactly like I ask you to. Okay? I don't care how easy it may seem, you've got to do it how I ask you to. Alright? Anytime we're doing a conversion, we're going to set up a proportion. So, I'm just going to start by doing this. Now, I need to convert from cups to fluid ounces. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look up in my conversion chart for cups and fluid ounces. Over here I'm looking. I see that 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. This is going to be my first ratio. Okay? This right here is my first ratio. 1 cup, 8 fluid ounces. 1 cup, 8 fluid ounces. Now, let me tell you what I'm expecting today. I'm expecting on every problem to see a proportion, and I'm expecting on every proportion to see a label. Okay? So, 1 cup, 8 fluid ounces. Next step, I want to label over here the same that I had here. Just carry these labels across. Cups, fluid ounces. Alright? Now, let's look back at the problem. I've got one more piece of information. 4 cups. Since I have labeled this, this should be very, very easy. 4 cups has to go on the top because that's where my cups are. And now I'm ready to solve this proportion. Peyton, 8 times 4 is what? Oh, you were close. You were close. 1 down. 32. All right? 32. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 divided by 1 is 32. So my answer is 32 fluid ounces. Okay? Now, I want everybody to work number 2 with me. Set up a proportion. We are going from cups to pints. So, as I look right here, alright, I see 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. Alright, now, I'll tell you, it doesn't really matter how you set this one up. You could set this first one up different than me. What's very, very important is that you label it, okay? So, cups and pints, 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So I'm going to write 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. Alright? Now, bring your units across, pints and cups. And one last step. I need to put my 5 cups in there. Alright, so you put it where you think it should go and solve this. How many pints are in 5 cups? Okay, the 5 needs to go on the bottom with the cups. So, I need, who is someone who is confident with that? Okay, Emily, 5 times 1 is? 5. Divided by 2 is? 2.5, very good. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 pints is equal to 5 cups. All right? Yes.
You know if you lower, but like for number one, like when you were writing up the proportions, when you do like on the top it had 1 and 4. Yeah. Then you do like whatever it takes to get to 4, 1 times 4, and then
Sure.
yeah,
Yep.
8 times 4.
Yep. Sure can. All right, right here. Need to set up your proportion. All right? I'm going to convert between feet and yards. So everybody set up your proportion and then put these numbers in. This is your first ratio. And then finish it out. All right, right here, feet and yards. My first ratio is coming from my chart right here. 1 yard is 3 feet. And I would highly encourage you, make that your first one, okay? Do the first thing, just get your information out of this chart. Next, carry your units across. Yard and feet. Go back to your equation, or to your problem, 24 feet. Obviously going to go on the bottom with the feet. So, let's see. Tristan, 1 times 24 is?
24.
Divided by 3 is? 8. So this is going to be 8 yards. All right? Now, if you can do number 7. If everybody shows a proportion, if everybody labels it, and it is correct, we will not do any more on this slide. All right? But everyone must show a proportion. Everyone must label it, and it all must be correct. Must have a proportion written down. I'll tell you right now. If I see you working this and trying to figure this out without writing down a proportion first, my mind hurts. Okay, you're giving me a headache. Don't do that. Write down the proportion. Put in labels. It will make it so easy. Okay, here is the proportion. Miles to feet. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay, we've got the labels. Carry the labels across. Miles and feet. Come back, we've got 4 miles. Now remember how you solve a proportion. Multiply diagonally and divide by the other one. So, 5,280 times 4 divided by 1 is what, Lyndon? 21,120. Number 10, same deal. If everybody writes down a proportion and everybody writes down the labels, this will be the last problem we do on this slide.
On this slide.
On this slide. I am more concerned today that you write down proportions and put down labels than I am that you get a right answer. Alright? Because we are going to use these proportions to do these conversions today and tomorrow. We're going to use these proportions to measure the height of the school. We're going to use these proportions to read maps. We're going to use these proportions to figure out the cost of a sweater that's 30% off. We're going to use these proportions to figure out how much of a tip you should leave at a restaurant. Alright? So, to me, the most important thing is that you understand how to set up a proportion and how to solve it. Okay, so right here, we're going from gallons to quarts, okay? I'm going to put this up higher, up here so it's easier to see. Gallons to quarts. So come over here. Whatever you find in this chart is your first one. 1 gallon and 4 quarts. Alright, now, carry these units across. Gallons stay on top. Quarts stay on the bottom. Now, if you do that, we should be able to see where the 5 gallons goes. It's 5 gallons, so I'm going to put it with the gallons. 4 times 5 is 20, divided by 1 is 20 quarts. 5 gallons is 20 quarts. All right, last one that I want to show you. Sports. It says the track surrounding a football field is 1/4 of a mile long. How many yards long is the track? So, I want to convert from miles to yards. So, let's look back up here and find the conversion between miles and yards. Except there isn't one, is there?
No.
Alright? So, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to convert miles to feet, and then feet to yards. So, let's start by converting miles to feet. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Carry your units across, and look back at the problem. We have 1/4 of a mile. You can write 1/4, you can write 0.25. Alright? 5,280 times 1/4. That's just like dividing by 4. 5,280 divided by 4 is what? Griffin, you got it?
176 yards.
5,280 divided by 4 is what?
1,320.
1,320 feet. Okay, so now I have feet, and I can convert that to yards. So, I'm doing this. Come up here. 1 yard, 3 feet. Carry your units across. And we have 1,320 1,320 feet. How many yards is that? 1 times 1,320 divided by 3 is what, Bailey?
440 yards.
440
Mr. Holsopple,
yards.
Per 140.
since that was like not a two-step problem, but like more than, like, do we have to write another, like,
Yes.
someone goes to
Okay, listen. Will any of those be on the homework today? I don't think any on the homework, okay? However, I can promise you there will be some like this on the test when we take it. Alright? I do promise you that.
Harry over there.
I don't get it. 1987.
Harry down.
I don't get that. I don't
Okay.
get it.
Alright.
It's the Harry.
It's irony, okay? It's ironic. It's a torture chamber, and what are they doing? They're taking a coffee break, right? Because everybody gets a coffee break, even the people who are torturing. You know, when it's time for that break, you punch out and you take that break.
You know what would be funnier? If the people that were getting tortured that
That would be funny.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Oh, that would be